Hello everybody, my name is Kenton DeYoung and I'm sitting here with my co-host Dylan Fairman.
Hey.
And this is Unsolved Canadian Mysteries.
Hello.
First take.
First take.
First take. I got that right the first time.
Oh yeah, you did really good.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
I was practicing.
Practicing in the car all the way here.
I was.
Hello, my name is Dylan. I'm Kenton. I'm Kenton. Kenton brought me a drink. Rivella original. Scan me. Why does it say scan me?
You can win a RV.
I know, but isn't this supposed to be from a different country?
Yeah.
It says scan me in English. Oh yeah. I'm gonna open it.
Cool. All right.
ASMR. Oh, that's pretty good.
You like it?
Yeah, it's like if I had to say the closest thing, it'd be like a tame ginger ale.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right.
Yeah. It's good.
It's Milkway.
Milkway.
Yeah.
Meaning?
I think like there's a nursery rhyme. She's sitting porridge and way, and along came a spider.
Isn't it curls and way? Or
Yeah.
curds and way?
Yeah, curds and way, and the spider came down, sat down beside her, and frightened whatever her name is away. Yeah, it's milk.
Miss Tuffet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Little Miss Tuffet.
Okay.
Muffet. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet eating her curds and way. Or How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm swell now that I got my Riverella.
So we just saw each other last week. Nothing's really changed. We haven't put out a new episode yet, so we don't know how it's been received.
Yes.
Usually we talk about that.
Yeah, I'm about halfway done editing it right now.
It's all good.
So.
It's all good. Yeah. By the time people hear this, we've already put it out.
Yeah.
They've already loved it. They've already told us good things.
Or bad things.
Or bad things,
or
yeah.
horribly bad things.
Yeah, maybe. It was about the Smiths.
Yeah.
Mary and Frank Smith, I think it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
And poor
old Cherry.
Old Cherry.
Yes. Now, we're down to true crime.
For now. Don't freak.
For now. I am happy to go back to the paranormal. Tonight's episode is about the Tunnel Monster of Cabbagetown.
Oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Wait, do you know where Cabbagetown is?
No. I can't say I do.
Good. It's a neighborhood in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah, so
neighborhood.
So not that exciting. And I don't know the origin of Cabbagetown. I assume they grew cabbages there to begin with. And
well, you'd hope.
something like that.
Or maybe Cabbage Patch Kids were invented there. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. So let me just get the year right, because the year and the source is a year apart. Is instead of me trying to recount what had happened, I will read you the newspaper article.
Cool.
Newspaper article, Sunday Sun, March 25th, 1979. The quote that leading into it is, "Almost like monkey, eyes orange red. The Tunnel Monster of Cabbagetown?" By Laurie Goldstein. There's an eerie city lying beneath the streets of Metro, a city none of us knows much about. Ernest has been a visitor to this silent world of sewers, drainage pipes, and the ruins of old houses. And the memory of what he saw there will haunt him for the rest of his life. "I wish you never come here," he says as he sits in his small, neat Cabbagetown apartment with Barbara, his wife of 19 years. "If I tell you what I saw, people will think I was drunk or crazy.
Or both.
They'll never believe me." On a summer day last August, so that would have been in 78, Ernest, 51, firmly believes he saw some kind of, quote, creature while crawling into a small cave near his Parliament Street apartment, looking for a kitten from a litter he had been caring for. But about 10 feet inside, he says he saw a living nightmare he'll never forget. "It was pitch black in there. I saw it with my flashlight. The eyes were orange and red, slanted. It was long and thin, almost like a monkey, 3 feet long, large teeth, weighing maybe 30 pounds, with slate gray fur." Ernest speaks reluctantly of what happened next. He is convinced the thing spoke to him.
Spoke?
"I'll never forget it," he said. "It said, 'Go away, go away,' in a hissing voice. Then it took off down a long tunnel off to the side. I got out of there as fast as I could. I was shaking with fear." Ernest didn't come to the Sun with the story. The Sun found him after hearing about his experience from a reliable contact who works with a relative of Ernest's, one of the handful of people to whom he has confided his experience. He would agree to talk about it only if his last name was not revealed. "I'm in the phone book," he said. I couldn't stand being called a bunch of cranks."
I'm in the phone book, you see.
It's dated. I'm on Google. No, I'm in the phone book. "I believe Ernie saw exactly what he says he did," says Barbara. "He was terrified when he came back to his apartment, and he doesn't scare easily. Look, he's been known to have a drink in the past, like most people, and to occasionally tie one on, but he is not a drunk, and he wasn't drinking at all that day." Checks with friends, relatives, and acquaintances in the neighborhood supported Barbara's evaluation of her husband. All right, so this is written by, we're not done yet, but it's written by Laurie Goldstein. And now Laurie goes into first person. I accompanied Ernest to the spot where he said he had seen the creature. It's at the bottom of a narrow passage between the buildings where he lived and the one next door. The only way to reach the tunnel entrance was to clamber 15 feet down.
Clamber? Oh, I guess is that reverse climbing?
I guess so. I guess climbing.
Clamber to reverse climb.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. 15 feet down the wrong side of the fire escape, which had once served as an exit to the street, but today simply leads to a narrow chamber with walls on 4 sides. The tunnel entrance runs inside of a slab of concrete at the foot of the chamber. Inside, there's a narrow passage branching off to the left about 10 feet back. The corpse of a cat lies half buried in the tunnel, reminding Ernest of the strange noises like animals in pain he heard coming from the chamber last summer.
Is this the Chamber of Secrets? Cat on the ground, petrified?
There was a cat. Yeah, that's why the teacher.
Chamber?
Yeah, okay, yeah. This should be the Chamber of Secrets in
I'm
Toronto.
just saying.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The concrete slab has collapsed on one side during the winter, making it impossible for even a small adult to get inside. I saw it where the tunnel turns, Ernest said. The last I saw, I was heading off into the dark. The passageway seemed to drop down very quickly and go a long way back. Ernest believes the tunnel leads to the sewer system that runs beneath Metro, and that the entrance beneath the apartment may have been only an access point used by the creature to the surface. Metros. I don't know why they're calling Toronto Metro, but it's Toronto.
Well, Metro's just city.
Okay.
Yeah, like when someone says it's the metro, it's the city. Like you got metro, urban, and rural. Urban being small towns, rural being country.
Okay. I didn't know Metro was used like that. Makes sense, Metropolis. Metro's sewer department agreed to inspect the tunnel since it could be a safety hazard. Children might try to enter it. A longtime sewer worker told The Sun it was possible, although not probable, that the tunnel led into the sewers. He said the tunnel was probably a result of poor drainage over the years, which has caused erosion under the ground, hollowing out the passage. Who knows where it leads or how far it goes, he said. You'd have to get in there, and the way it is now, it would take a lot of work. Despite the strangeness of Ernest's story, the workers did not scoff at the tale. People who work on the surface just don't know what it's like down there, one said. It's a whole different world. Who would have thought a few years ago people would live in sewers? And yet that's what they found in New York a few years back. Even in Toronto, we've occasionally had to pull mattresses from the chambers beneath the manhole covers where the winos have been sleeping. Another worker said he's heard of animals like beavers or raccoons occasionally getting into the system, but never heard anything that described by Ernest. I didn't say that right, but it's okay. I don't know what he saw down there, he said, but I'll tell you one thing. If we could get down there, I sure as hell wouldn't want to be down there alone.
Look, this person just watched Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is Tom Riddle or the snake, and someone's a parcel mouth and they're speaking snake. Look, I am currently almost done reading the Chamber of Secrets
for the first time,
like as we speak.
Okay.
I have one chapter left.
Okay.
And this is 100% Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Well, I think Harry Potter takes place in the 70s or 80s. That's when they kind of dated it, right?
Oh, really?
I think so. It's not modern times.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's why they have like those old cars in the movie, or like they live in the old houses, or there's no cell phones or internet.
I see.
Okay, so that's the story. I told you last time, that I interviewed someone about this.
You interviewed the snake?
No.
There's no snake.
No, there's no snake. I interviewed Laurie, the reporter.
Whoa.
Right? I hunted him down. He still works for the Sun, all these years later, the Toronto Sun now.
Cool.
And I will tell you what he said once I go off.
To you.
Airplane mode, yeah. To me.
To you in person.
Well.
With his mouth.
Over email.
Over email with his fingers.
Yes. So the first thing I asked him was, is this a real story? Because like it sounds like a novel, like a story, like a fictional story, right? And Laurie Goldstein said to me, I've always answered the question about whether the story is true by saying I believe that Ernest honestly believed he saw something down there that deeply frightened him. Notice that I believe he believes.
Right.
The story is true. He talked to somebody, they claim to witness something, and that's it. Right? So okay, we'll take it as sure, good enough. So then I asked, okay, what do you think it was? And he said, I don't know what he saw. It could have been a raccoon or a cat. For all I know, someone's pet monkey, which escaped into the sewers. It could have been something else. The reason I believe Ernest is sincere is that he didn't seek me out publicly or ask for money for his story. Because you can do that. You can sell your story to newspapers.
That'd be good.
You also write for, like, CBC and they'll pay you too in case you're looking to make a couple bucks. Anyway,
Freelance work.
Yep. Nothing better than make a couple extra dollars a month, doing writing for a CBC. Anyone can do it.
Like, write anything?
Well, you have to pitch a story. And if they say, yeah, okay, then they'll pay you for it.
But it has to be a real story.
Well, give me an opinion. Like, cheese doesn't taste the same way as it used to. There was a big thing a couple years ago about cheese, I think it was, that they had changed the way they were making cheese. No, or was it? It was cheese. No, it was butter. It was butter. They changed how butter was tasting, and people complained. So CBC did an investigation into it, and they had changed how they were doing butter. It was a big thing, like a big investigation into the butter.
Big butter investigation.
Yeah, that's what we do in this country.
That's what the Canadians do.
Ernest acknowledged he would have a few drinks from time to time, but never to a point where he was blind drunk or would hallucinate something like this. He and his wife were more worried that I would make them out to be fools. So a couple more questions. He says no one else has ever seen this creature, and he's never spoken to Ernest again. But a few months later, he put them in touch with the National Enquirer, but he doesn't know if the Enquirer ever followed up. He says he's been interviewed by people like us, by researchers, bloggers, and journalists over the years, and he doesn't know about any people living in the sewers of Toronto, but he can say, and he put a source here from a few months ago, 5 months ago, about the hundreds of people who live under the streets of New York, in the sewers of New York City. So that was kind of cool. I got to talk to the guy who met Ernest, who went to the tunnel and saw the dead cat. And so now I'll tell you my theories, unless you have anything else you want to add or ask.
No, just the fact that geothermal heating makes sewers a very habitable place during the winter for the homeless. So there could be tons of people and creatures in there.
Yeah.
And monkeys.
I watched a few YouTube videos on this to try and get other people's perspective of what they think it was. One person, and I think this one's just completely wrong right out the gate. And like I usually try and entertain these ones, but this one's wrong.
Aliens.
Okay, so that is one of the theories,
Okay.
but not this one. This theory is that he just saw his cat.
Oh.
And that he was kind of scared, maybe a little bit intoxicated, and has a flashlight and just saw like the cat, and that's the eyes he saw in the light. The red eyes were just the reflection of the flashlight on the cat's eyes, and maybe the shadow of the cat just looked bigger.
There is so many videos on YouTube of people irritating their cats to the point to where they make vocalizations that sound like human words.
Yeah, like that one. It's like Old Long Johnson. Old Long Johnson.
I've never seen that one.
Okay.
But that happens.
Yeah. See, my argument was that it hissed at him and said, "Get out" or "Go away." And you could hear that maybe in a tunnel with echoes, but I'm just saying no. I don't think it was a cat. Yeah.
Sounded like a cat.
Okay.
Sounded like Get Out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I don't agree with this one, but hey, it's okay. Maybe you can accept this one.
No.
Okay. Next theory. This one's a little bit longer. So Toronto was built on top of a river network, streams and rivers and aqueducts, natural, right? And that originally they kind of used these, well, when you have a city and you have rivers, you can try to build around them or just kind of build with them, right? Because they will cause problems if you kind of make them work how you want them to. You just kind of just work with them, right? So a lot of the old sewage systems went with these original rivers and tunnels, because rivers and waterways, because it was just easier that way. There was a lot of rivers in this area, then they built a city on top of it. Now the indigenous people, the Algonquin people, have a story of a being called the, oh my gosh, Mimi. Give me 1 second.
Me.
I was practicing it.
Me.
Mimi.
Me. I'm practicing too.
Thank you. Pronouncewiki.com. Here we go.
It's funny how you pronounce it wiki, and you're going there to figure out how to pronounce things.
Mimigwesi.
Mimigwesi.
All right. Okay.
Mimigwesi.
So the Algonquin people lived in the area before the settlers came. And they had a story of the Mimigwesi that lived there as well. The Mimigwesi, they described them as being about 3 feet tall. Like they called them little people who lived amongst the water and kind of had little burrows under the water. Think of them kind of like they lived in the water, but also kind of on the shoreline. There's some stories of them having little canoes that went up and down the water too. Some kind of describe them as being maybe like a imp or something kind of playful.
Or a gremlin.
Or a gremlin. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. One report thing I read says that the Mimigwesi, if they were spotted by an adult, would tell them to keep their identity a secret, and they would reward them with like wealth.
Like a leprechaun.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Yes, like a leprechaun, exactly, like a leprechaun. And I'm thinking that's why Ernest didn't want to tell anyone about this, because he made his agreement, or was told, So that's why he didn't want to go to the reporters about it. But it had been about a year since then, so he's okay, well, I haven't been paid by these guys yet, so I'm going to tell the reporters,
These
right?
leprechauns haven't given me any dough.
Right? So that's one theory they have, that it was the Memagwese that he saw. Now, the other theory, okay, this is number 3, aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you knew it. Because of the proximity to the Marysburg vortex that we talked about.
Yeah, how far away is it? Oh, I guess it's not, that's real close.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
The idea is that it was an alien from the vortex, maybe like an alien ship or something, and it was just in the sewers of Toronto. There's a guy who wrote a book. His name was Commander X, a real, good name, some repeatable source.
Yeah.
He claims there is a electromagnetic field in downtown Toronto that causes a certain intersection to have a lot of accidents in it.
I believe that.
I've read sources that claim that intersection is actually quite safe. I don't know of that. You could see an area with a high electromagnetic field causing accidents. That I could see that happening, but they say this intersection is safe, so that kind of cuts out that whole theory of Commander X's.
Yeah, well, what exactly is the electromagnetic field doing?
He says it might be like a spaceship or something under the city.
Yeah, but how is it causing his unsafeness? Like, is it triggering the lights to change?
I don't know.
When they shouldn't?
It could be like perception or balance, equilibrium.
I see.
Electromagnetic fields could cause someone to hallucinate too. Maybe see a monster.
Is that true?
I think so. Yeah.
My equipment I use for work, I put electromagnetic fields on things. I wonder if I attach it to my face, if I could like...
It might take a lot of exposure to it, or high amounts.
I work a long day.
I'll tell you, I don't really think the alien ones are. I think Commander X is just telling the tall
You
tale.
think Commander X is just telling tall tales?
Don't go with Commander X on this one. I'll tell you what I think.
Ooh, and it has nothing to do with any of the other ones, or you got a little piece of anything?
I mean, a little bit, but
Okay.
Have you seen the movie Us?
Have I?
Came out last year, 2021.
Then no.
Okay. This isn't a spoiler because it's like told in the first opening scene of it, right? That across the United States, there are people who live underground. People who are not part of censuses, who don't pay taxes, who aren't on the list.
Mole people.
Mole people, exactly. And I'm thinking, if at this time there were people living in the sewers of New York, isn't that far away from Toronto? Why not have people live in the sewers of Toronto? Why don't you just see a mole person? They exist. They're there. They already said in the article they took some mattresses out of the sewer system, and it spoke English, which means it wouldn't have been a cat or a Megwese or an alien. But I'm thinking it was a mole person.
I would say I'm with you, and the fact that the guy found a dead cat there, it was probably a homeless man who was skinning animals and put it on his body, which would be terrifying to see. Imagine a homeless man, dirty, covered in the pelts of pets, and a monkey. One monkey.
Yeah.
He had a pet monkey.
Sure. Yeah.
He had a pet monkey, Kenton.
Kind of like the guy from... Oh, what is it?
King Kong.
No, I'm thinking it has...
Curious George.
No, goats, screaming goats, silent lambs. What is it?
Sounds of the Lamb.
Sounds of the Lambs, yeah. And that guy's wearing skin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Like that, but it's fur.
Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, there are so many wild cats out there. If you could find a way to catch them, you would have a good source of food.
And clothing.
Yeah, sure. They used to wear pelts. Why not? That's a good idea. I support that one.
I support it as well.
So,
although we don't support the killing of cats.
No, don't do
and
that.
Wearing of their furs.
No.
We support that it is possible that Toronto people underground might be doing that.
So that's the theories out there. It was a cat. It was Memagwese. It was the aliens, or it's, in my opinion, a mole person.
Yeah, I agree.
That's kind of it.
Well, that's cool. I especially like the fact that you have talked to a person involved in this. That is cool.
I tried to contact the sewer department of Toronto too, and they passed me off to the archives, and the archives sent me to the website, and I'm like, well, that's not what I wanted. I want to talk to a person.
See, it's just always passing it on in the next. Like,
Yeah.
You literally probably have to keep on calling until someone was like, well, I don't want to work, so I'll just talk to this guy.
Talk to this crank. So I was so happy that Lori was willing to answer my questions, even though it's been several years, several decades since he wrote the article.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for writing that article.
Yeah.
Important information that needs to be told.
Every article I read, every video I watched about it, no one ever reached out to Lori. No one said they ever actually talked to the reporter. So I don't think I'm the first, but I'm definitely like one of the few that I could find.
I wonder if you could figure out the spot to clatter down the ladder and look around.
It's on Parliament Street in Cabbagetown. So I mean, you could probably narrow it down.
Yeah.
It's a street. I don't know how long that street is. Maybe it's a really big street.
This mystery is getting solved.
I did see one video saying that like once they had been doing an excavation of the sewer system in Toronto, and they found an old safe, and they opened it up, but the video didn't say what they found inside, so I don't want to say that was anything other than maybe just a safe, right? It could just been anything, right?
Yeah.
Like they found that safe at Government House and had a bunch of dishes in it, which is cool because they're original dishes, but it's like I thought gold.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh,
Plates. I have plates at home.
thanks, plates.
How much are these plates worth? Nothing. Oh. How much is the safe worth? Nothing.
Oh. What do you think of that story?
It's good.
I was happy to do another kind of paranormal one.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always going to be a standard amount of theories. It's always going to be like, well, aliens, you know, and then like a local folklore of creatures, right?
Yeah.
What are they called?
Memegwese.
Wow, I thought you would totally have to look it up again.
I was practicing it
Memegwese.
as well as my intro the entire way here.
Because that happens in almost every one of these ones.
Yeah.
We can't rule out that there are sewer bears. It's a strong possibility that these bears are living in the sewers.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm down there.
Yeah.
And they're eating garbage and sleeping on mattresses.
And if they get a cat, eat the cat.
Oh, they would devour it.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's the answer.
Mole people who ride sewer bears.
I like it. They could even like wear some bear furs.
Yeah.
Past bears. Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck getting those furs. You don't want to mess with a sewer bear, I'll tell you right now. Cool. Well, thank you, Kenton.
Oh, thank you, Dylan. I appreciate you listening to my strange tale this evening.
It was strange. Indeed.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. This has been another episode of Unsolved Canadian Mysteries. My name is Kenton DeYoung, and I'm sitting here with my co-host, Dylan Fairman. and we'll see you next time.
Oh my God, Kenton. It's like,